Welcome back to the Solutions Lab. I'm Chris Phillips, D&H's Solution Specialist. If you've been joining us for the past 12 months, you probably noticed a theme with a lot of the webcasts we've done, whether it's from Jeff or Trevor, myself, Matt Allison. It's the theme of cloud management, whether it's network devices, on-prem devices, desktop computers, what have you. A lot of the devices we use on a regular basis have moved to a cloud-managed environment. That cloud-managed environment offers a lot of flexibility in how you can access those devices, whether you're in or out of the office. And one topic we haven't touched on yet, we're going to actually touch on today, and that is unified communication. More specifically, the phone systems we use on a daily basis. Now, traditional phone systems and voice-over IP phone systems have existed for decades in various forms and to various levels. And even today, with those traditional phone systems that the hardware exists on-prem, you can still extend some of the services to remote usage. However, you have to jump through some hoops to do that. It's not very user-friendly. Sometimes you have to use VPNs to get soft phones to work when you're outside the office. You can eliminate that barrier by using a phone system that starts in the cloud and extends on-prem. And that's what we're going to talk about today. And we're going to use Intermedia's Unite platform as the example to show you what that can look like. Intermedia Unite is a cloud-based phone, meeting, video, collaboration, file sharing service that is available that allows you to take your traditional phone system, still give you the on-prem benefits that you enjoy, hardware phones in every office, and break rooms, as well as extends that to mobile phones and soft phones that we'll show you a little bit later, and gives you other features like video meeting and collaboration tools that wouldn't exist outside of a non-cloud-based environment. So rather than just kind of telling you all about this, I want to kind of show you what it looks like in practice, and that's what we're going to go over first. We're going to take a look at what this looks like in practice. We're going to jump on my computer here. We're going to take a look at the soft phone app for Unite. And we're going to show you how that works in conjunction with the traditional hardware phone. And we're going to show you how those kind of mix together and how you can add other devices in and create a unified experience no matter where you are, whether you're in an office or on the road. So let's jump into Windows here and take a look at the Unite app. So here we are. We're going to take a look at the Intermedia Unite soft phone app. And it actually looks pretty unassuming. It is when you open it up, you get your list of contacts, very similar to other soft phone apps that are out there in the market. But what I want to do is actually I want to jump off the soft phone real quick. And I'm actually going to jump onto my physical phone here, the phone that exists on my desk. And I'm going to start a call. And I want to be able to start a call because I want to be able to show you that here on the soft phone, you can actually see right here, right now, I've got a green light on me. This means I'm available. I'm going to start a call on the actual phone itself, and this soft phone app is actually going to be able to recognize that I've started a call, and it's going to be able to turn me from green to red to show everybody else that is on this contact list that I'm on a call. So I'm going to quickly dial a number here real quick, hit go, and it's going to go ahead and ring, and we're going to see if Trevor picks up on the other line. We're not actually going to hear him, but we're just going to let him pick up. And as you can see, Trevor did pick up on the other line. He immediately turned red as soon as he picked up. And right now, there's actually a phone call that I have actively going. And the soft phone app is showing that I'm on the phone right now. And if I go down all the way to the bottom, Trevor's on the phone right now. And this soft phone app can be configured to be used as a soft phone app or also as a controller. If you go up into the settings here and under application settings, you can see I have it set up as a soft phone, but I can also set it as a controller to this actual phone itself. So instead of being able to make calls with this soft phone app, I'll be able to manage this phone. But when you're in soft phone mode, you can do a lot of the same features, so I like to leave it as the soft phone. So with that call going, we'll go back to the actual contacts, and we'll kind of show you the lay of the land here. The contacts is pretty straightforward. You can get a list of everyone in the organization with their current status in. You have people that are offline. You have people that are online but are busy or away from their desk. You can actually go in and see your call history, all the calls you've made, all the calls you've missed, all the calls you've transferred, whether that's on the soft phone app or on the physical phone or your mobile phone, which we'll show a little bit later. But what I want to do right now is actually get an active call onto this soft phone app so we can show you how you can manipulate the call from the soft phone app. So what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to show you a feature of Unite that allows me to take this active call that's on this phone and move it over to my soft phone or any of my other devices for that matter. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to come over here in the settings and I'm going to click through here and I'm going to use a setting called call flip. And as soon as I hit this button, all of my devices, as you can see here, the soft phone app is started ringing. It says Trevor Schubert's also calling. But as you can see, my mobile devices as well have also started ringing. All of my devices have now started ringing, and I can pick up on any of these devices and continue that call. So I'm going to pick up on the soft phone app here on the PC and pick up the call. So I've now moved the call that I did start here on my physical phone, my office phone, and moved it over here to my soft phone. This offers a wide variety of flexibility. If I'm on a call with a customer and I need to get up and leave for whatever reason, I can then flip that call hitting this button right here, and it's going to flip back to either my desk phone or flip back to my mobile phones. And I could flip it back there and answer it, and I can continue that same call that I just had open on my mobile phone now. I could leave the office, talk to them. If I circle back to my desk and I want to go back to my desk phone or want to go back to my soft phone, again, there's a flip button within the Unite app. Go into it. Flip button right here. Flip it back, and go ahead. Rings on the soft phone, and I pick it up. Very, very easy to move calls from device to device. Allows you to be more mobile and allows you to access your phone calls from wherever you're at. Same difference whether you're just taking an incoming call. If an incoming call came in, it would bring all of my devices. And you can go into your preferences and set it up so it doesn't ring all the devices, but I have it set up so all the devices ring. So it really allows you to access all your calls from wherever you're at. Getting back to the soft phone app, there are some basic features you can do. You can put your mic on mute. You can hold the call if you need to. You can flip that call, which we just showed. You can also add a call. Now, add a call isn't traditional conferencing or meeting. We're going to show you any meeting from Intermedia a little bit later, show you what that looks like. But add call simply allows you to add another call to your soft phone's queue. So I can go ahead, pick any person, or I can just dial a traditional number from your dialer up here. I'm just going to call the D&H main number. If you don't know, it's 800-877-1200. And now I have a call going to the D&H 800 number and Trevor. And I can flip back and forth. I can flip back to Trevor and go, all right, resume that call, and now D&H is on hold, and vice versa. Now I'm back on the D&H call. So it's not a conference, it's just having two calls active at once. I'm going to hang up that phone call so I don't bug our lovely receptionist. We'll pick up on Trevor again and kind of continue to go through the settings. A little bit like add call, I can transfer, and a lot like flipping, I can transfer this call to another user. So if I hit the transfer button, I'm going to go down here to Jim because I saw he's online. I'm not actually going to transfer the call over, but it does allow you to see the options. I can send this call to his mobile device, his extension. I can either just do a warm transfer, which would allow me to get on the phone with Jim, let him know that Trevor's on the line before I actually complete the transfer. It's a very polite way of transferring people. The impolite way of transferring people is that you can just blind transfer them right to Jim. So I can just hit a button, that Trevor call goes to Jim. When he picks up, it's Trevor, it's not me, no heads up. In some work environments can be considered bad manners, but the option is out there. You can also just send him direct to voicemail. If I know Jim's away, but Trevor's got a message for him, I can just send him direct to voicemail. It doesn't even ring any of his devices. So you can do that as well. Last thing I wanted to show you is the ability to park a call. And parking a call is useful for when you have salespeople that work in an environment that don't have a direct extension or a direct phone number but still receive phone calls from time to time. It's very useful in a retail environment where you have many salespeople out on the floor, but those salespeople still get phone calls, but they typically don't have an extension. So what I can do is I can actually hit the park call button. It's going to take Trevor's call, it's going to park the call, and it's going to give me a 3-digit extension, 980. And now I can go to any phone in the building, not just mine, but any phone that's connected to Intermedia. I can dial 980, we'll pick up that call, and now it is Trevor Schubert. So the call is now, this phone is now picked up the parked call and is now connected to Trevor. So that's great. So if someone called me and they were looking for Trevor, and I know Trevor's out on the sales floor, I can go, hey, Trevor's on the line. So if Trevor calls me and goes, hey, I'm looking for Jim, Jim's out on the floor, I know he's not near his phone, I can go over the PA and go, Jim, you got a call from Trevor, it's on extension 980. He can go to any phone, pick it up, and continue that call with Trevor. So another great way to move calls around. It's all features that we're kind of used to in traditional phone systems. But the very convenient thing about Unite here is no matter where I'm at, whether I'm using this soft phone app on my laptop, whether I'm using it on my mobile device, whether I'm in office or not, this works the exact same way. If I unplug this phone, take it home, and plug it into my Ethernet at home, it's going to work the same way. It's going to connect to the internet, and all my phone calls are going to go. The configuration is done in the cloud, which allows your customers infinite mobility, which is something that really doesn't exist traditionally in these kind of UCC environments. So that's the phone side of Unite in a nutshell. What I also want to show you, we're going to go up here to the third tab here, is the meeting. And from the meetings tab, we're going to actually be able to use Unite's Any Meeting platform. And this is their conferencing / video conferencing / collaborations platform. When I click on this tab, it just goes to your ability to start a meeting instantly. And you can do some basic configurations. First of all, I can just set a meeting URL. Right now it's just set to cphillips@dnh.com. I can set that URL to whatever I want, whenever I want, as long as the URL is available. They'll give it to me, and all the people that want to join my conference have to do is go to that URL. It also gives you a join by phone number and a PIN number for security purposes. But to get started, I'm just going to go enter meeting. And it's going to go ahead and launch Chrome. And Intermedia does recommend that you use Chrome. It has Chrome extensions for any meeting as well. And as this thing gets fired up and connecting, I'm going to change my preferences. And I'm going to actually click down here. I want to use the Logitech Rally Cam as my conferencing cam. And that's this camera right here from Logitech. It's brand new, and we're going to talk a little bit more about this at a future date. But we actually want to use this because it's a higher quality, better camera than what is available on our laptop, and we want to make sure that everyone in the meeting can see me clearly. I can also set my headset preferences as well. I do have this Savvy headset that is right in front of me connected to this computer. We'll talk about that a little bit later in the webcast. We're going to update these settings, and we're going to get started. So right now, we're connected to the meeting. No one's joined, because obviously here on the left-hand side, all we see is myself. But as people join, we'll see phone numbers, we'll see names, we'll see all the information of the people that have joined. To get started, I can just actually share my webcam out to everyone, and now everyone sees the Logitech Rally Cam, and when they join this meeting, they will actually just see me talking through the Rally Cam. I can also, in the meeting, share my screen, and what I'm going to do is just hit this screen share, and now they are seeing my screen. And I'm going to close this here. You can see they're seeing not only my screen, which would be here, they're also seeing the webcam. I can stop that sharing as well. It does give me that little notification down here at the bottom that I am sharing my screen. Be careful. I'm going to stop that, go back to just the video. So this becomes a very easy to use, easy to set up video conferencing tool. If other people were to come in and turn on their webcams, they would be able to share their webcams as well, and me as the meeting organizer would be able to activate them, and we'd be able to have multiple people going at once doing a collaboration session. Over here on the left-hand side as well, there is a chat feature. So if you are doing a meeting where you have people that want to ask questions, you can use that chat feature for people to ask questions if they don't have a mic or it's not a session where they can do an audible question. There's also a notes tab, and this notes tab is very interesting. You can put notes over here, and that's 1, 2, 3, 4, whatever. This is a group note session, so whomever's in this meeting, everyone can put notes in here. They can delete, edit, do whatever they want with the notes. When this meeting is completed, everyone that joined the meeting will get a copy of these notes. Recently, we just had a quick meeting where someone needed an email address at the very end of the meeting. All I did was jump into the notes real quick, jotted in the email address, and an email was automatically generated with the notes, sending that email to that note to everyone that joined the meeting. Very easy way to get some written information out to everyone after the meeting's been finished. You can record the meetings as well. This is available on a certain level of any meetings platform. It's not available to all, I believe. If you have more questions about that, please drop us a line in the Q&A. We will go ahead and answer that at that portion of this webcast. I can also just switch the audio over to my phone for whatever reason. If my headset dies, I didn't charge it at night, and I need to switch the audio to my phone, I can go ahead and just switch this entire conference over to a phone conference and continue the conference pretty seamlessly. The other settings here will just kind of allow you to go back and change those settings that you were able to see when you initially came in. But this is actually just a really simple, really straightforward overview of any meeting. It allows you to quickly spin up a meeting and then be able to collaborate with you or your customers or your coworkers very easily without a lot of pain or hassle. What I'm actually going to do right now is I'm actually going to go over here to the top right. I'm going to hit this X button, which is going to end the meeting. And I'm just going to go ahead and click End Meeting. And it's going to ask me, hey, how was your meeting? It was good. We didn't have any issues. Close that. And then when I close this, it's actually going to bring me to the Any Meeting dashboard. And now this is a more traditional look at the dashboard, which allows you to do what we just did, which was start a meeting, or I can schedule a meeting for a later date. And I can schedule that meeting. I can put in all the details. I can say, hey, we're going to have a meeting on the 29th at 2 p.m., not a.m. That would be a very early meeting. I don't think I'm going to get up for that one. It's going to be 60 minutes, and it's going to be at 2 a.m. Eastern Time. Sounds like a pretty familiar time to me. Put it as Webcast as the title, and I can drop in any number of email addresses. I can copy paste, or I can just put in email addresses that we've used before. And I can hit schedule, and it will send this invite out to everybody, and then I will get a notice at 2 o'clock to get ready to start my meeting, and we'll start the meeting from there. But there is a way to schedule meetings traditionally and then send out invites as you normally would. So that is a brief overview of Unite, not only the phone system, but any meeting as well. Now there are a wide variety of features we didn't cover, including other collaboration features, file sharing, and Outlook, and things of that nature that hopefully we'll be able to cover at a later date, as well as a very, very robust admin side and partner portal side as well. Now, Intermedia does feature two things that is important to note. They have a very impressive 99.9999 SLA uptime rating, and that is achieved because Intermedia partners have access to a partner portal when they sign up as a partner for Intermedia. And if you take a look at the partner portal, over here on the left-hand side, there's a tool, or there's a screen called Voice Services Tool. And this tool is kind of the precursor to allow you to deploy Intermedia into any of your customers' locations. It does a very quick one-day pre-qualification, and then it does a deep dive network test over 3 to 7 days to really get a better sense of that customer's network traffic and whether Intermedia is a good fit for that customer. That is one of the things that allows Intermedia to have that 5 nines uptime rating, is because they pre-qualify all those customers and make sure that the platform will work in their environment. They also do have free 24/7 technical support that is JD Power certified as well. So if any of your customers have problems, they have customer service that's always available as well. So if you have any questions about any of that stuff, or if you would like to see a further video about the admin side, setting up the phone systems, setting up users, deactivating users when they roll out, setting up new phones, setting up new phone numbers, setting up ring trees, setting up auto attendants. There's a wide variety of things you can do with Unite platform that we don't have time to show today. But if you want to see it, we're having a poll question right now whether you want to see a future video about the admin side of Unite. Please take a moment right now, answer the question, and if enough people are looking for that kind of information, we'll do our best to get back out in front of you as soon as we can and show you the admin side of that and how you deploy these systems into your customer's location. With all that being said, we're going to move on to another topic here, and it's a topic that's actually been in front of our face for the entire time we've been in this webcast. And the phone systems we use is actually just really one part of the unified communication field. Many of the phones we use are also attached with headsets, a variety of kinds of headsets. And Plantronics has a number of different headsets that are out here today that I wanted to first of all show you, and then show you some cloud management of these headsets that gives you the ability to update firmware on a schedule, set settings on a schedule, and manage these inventories in a way that you're normally not able to see with a headset. So the great thing about a lot of these headsets that are out here today, you've got two the Voyager headsets, and then you've got my personal favorite, the Savvy. I showed Intermedia working on a wide variety of different devices. These headsets can also be used on a wide variety of devices at once. The Savvy, for an example, with 3 buttons on the top, I can quickly switch from whether this headset's connected to my phone, or my PC, my mobile phone, or my physical phone. If I hit 2 buttons at once, I can connect to 2 devices at once. These smaller headsets, the ones that kind of just fit in your ear, or the traditional over-the-ear types, have little USB Bluetooth adapters that you can connect to a phone, you can connect to a laptop, you can also connect to your mobile phone. So the ability to connect these things to a wide variety is very useful, and it has great call quality. But the problem a lot of our customers see is there's no way to manage these devices once I give them out to my customers, no way to see whether my customers are using them, and no way to repurpose them if I can't find one, or just keep track of that inventory, because once you kind of put them out there, they're out there. So Plantronics has actually came up with a solution for all this. It's called Plantronics Manager Pro. It allows you to inventory these devices, see how often they're used, and as well as which users are using the devices the most, and then kind of use that information to roll them out, or to take devices that aren't being used, give them to other users, and just have a better control over the environment. So I'm going to jump quickly back into my Windows PC here. We're going to take a look at the Plantronics Manager Pro dashboard, see what managing headsets looks like. So here we are in the Plantronics Manager Pro dashboard. As you can see from the home page, we actually get a lot of useful information right up front. Notifications pane that tells you when new firmware updates are available for devices and information like that. And then a general company snapshot of the devices that are out there in the company, the firmware some of the devices are on, and other information like that. Now there are 2 main things you're going to be doing on this dashboard. You're going to be rolling out policies to these headsets for users to use, and then you're also going to be taking a look at inventory information on how often these devices are used, who's using these devices, and when. We're going to start, though, however, with the firmware policies. I'm going to go ahead over here on the left-hand side under Policies, click Firmware. And we have a couple of firmware policies that are out there for this particular Savvy W7 line. I'm actually just going to click Default and kind of edit this existing one. And the first thing you can change is the general firmware version these things are taking. You can basically say, hey, these devices are always going to take the latest firmware that's available from Plantronics, or you can just set them to a older firmware that you know is stable. A lot of use cases I've seen is having one group on most of your users on a old stable group or stable firmware, and then have a new group for firmwares that are newer to test that group out and then move the old group along. So you can set that up however you'd like. The other thing you can do under the policy type, you can actually change it to device settings. And this is where you kind of get a lot more information of what you're able to do with these devices. You can set ringtones and volumes for all of these devices. So if you want everyone to be using the same ringtone on the floor, you can set that as a policy, and then when everyone plugs in, it's going to get that policy. You can also set the bandwidth, audio bandwidth that the PC is getting. You can set whether these connect to Bluetooth devices if you don't want these headsets to be connecting to Bluetooth devices. You can also stop things like audio streaming. If you do allow these to connect to Bluetooth devices, but you don't want your employees to be able to stream audio like podcast or music from the phone to the headset, you can go into the policies, turn that off, and then they're no longer able to stream media from their phone to the headset. Keeps them a little bit more productive. There's just a wide variety of different policies that you can set, and then when you go ahead and apply those policies, it will be applied remotely to all the devices that are enrolled in that group. If you've joined us for any of these cloud webcasts we've done in the past, policies and this kind of stuff should be familiar to you at this point, and it's really no different here. On the software side, you can do basically the same thing. You can create software policies for the Plantronics Hub software. As you can see, you can basically just lock out whether it's enabled or disabled for a wide variety of different UCC apps that are out there. You can also shut off iTunes if you don't want to listen to music. Shut off Windows Media Player, again, if you don't want them using that. Just a wide variety of features you're able to do to that as well. As you can also see, or go back a page, the Plantronics Hub is not only available on Windows, it is also available on Mac as well. So that's kind of the policy side of things. The side that's going to sell it for a lot of people is actually the library, the reports that you can run with this. And this gives you a general sense of how many of these devices are in your environment, how often they're being used, who has the most devices, and it really allows you to reallocate devices that aren't being used and get a sense of how often your employees are on the phone using them. First of all, I'm going to click on the device adoption because I think this is a good one to start, because it gives you a bar graph of devices that have been used and are not being used. I'm actually going to set this from the past week. I'm not going to do the last 6 months. You can see over the last 6 months, we've rolled out 5 Voyager headsets. 2 are currently in use, and 3 are not in use. They're not active anymore. If you look at the Savvy line, we have 4 that are in use and 6 that are not in use. This can give you a general idea of, hey, our employees are really preferring the Savvy headsets more. Maybe we should get more Savvy headsets. Or maybe they're preferring the Voyager headsets more and we should get more of those. If you click on any of these bars, you can kind of get granular information of which models are in particular being adopted higher than other models. I'm going to go back here and I'm actually going to click on the inventory. And this is where we're going to be able to see all devices that are on our company network, not just Plantronic devices, all devices. So you can see we have a wide variety of, the vast majority, I should say, of our users are using Plantronics devices. We do have some users that are using Logitech devices as well. The Manager Pro is able to track not only Plantronics devices, but Logitech or any other third-party devices as well. You just don't have the same abilities to manage the firmware as you would if it was a Plantronics device. If you click on the particular vendor, you can load up the exact models that are being used in your inventory. Right now we've got 9 Voyagers out there. We've got, 12 Savvies out there, and then we've got a handful of the Bluetooth USB adapters. Then again, you can continue to click down even deeper and get a general sense of models. Then you can click down even further and get the users that are using each model, the serial numbers if they're available, what computers they're connected to, when they were last detected. Really, really granular information to help you make better decisions about who should be getting new headsets, or whether you should be reclaiming some headsets and handing them out rather than buying new ones. Back over here on the Libraries tab, I'm going to take a look at the soft phone adoption report. And this report, again, just allows you to see the number of users that have been using specific soft phone applications similar to the Unite application we just showed, whether it's from Microsoft, Cisco, or any other soft phone application. This exists right here. You can, again, click in and get a general sense of what program is being used, calls not used. You can continue to click in and then get more user information or what firmware, things of that nature. Back into the reports, I'm going to jump down and actually show the user activity. This is really great report if you want to get a sense of when the call volume in your company's business is at its highest. And I'm not going to use the past week because it doesn't really give you a good sense. I'm going to actually kick it out to 12 months. And in the last 12 months, you can see that we've gotten a lot of calls in March and April, then it kind of tails off in certain months, then kicks back up in the summer, and then tails off again. You get a much broader sense of when you're receiving the most calls. Then you can click into a specific month and get information on call volume on a daily basis, weekends, during the week. You can click into a specific day and get information of what times you're getting the most calls in and out. And again, this is not just tracking Plantronics headsets. This is tracking any headset. This is tracking whether you're using a physical phone, whether you're using a soft phone, whether you're using a mobile phone. It really combines the reports for all your devices into one simple-to-use dashboard. So it gives you the ability to tell your customers that, hey, you're receiving way more call volume in November, December, and it's specifically happening on Tuesdays and Wednesdays from noon to 3 p.m. So they can know to be expecting higher call volumes during that time. Reports like this allow you to take that data and turn that into usable information for your customers. There are other reports you can run within Manager Pro, reports like when an action command is sent to the headset, like muting or things of that nature. Radio link quality reports to see how often the link is dropped between the headset and the device, as well as acoustic reports and noise exposure reports should a company need that information for safety purposes or for regulation purposes. One other thing I did want to show you within Manager Pro, we did mention that this is available on Windows and on Mac. To actually run all this, you need to download the Plantronics Hub software into every computer that's going to be having one of these headsets connected to it. And you can actually get a pre-configured install file directly from this dashboard. If you go ahead and click on the Plantronics Hub over here on the left, and under Admin, we're going to go ahead and click Install Client for Windows. You can create a new installer file. I'll go ahead and do that right now for 64-bit. It's going to create an installer file, and it's creating that right now, and then it's done. I can go ahead and download this file, and then all you have to do is take this file, run it on any computer that you want to be able to manage these headsets from, and it will not only manage the Plantronics headsets, but any third-party headset as well. So it makes it really easy to deploy the hub to all your devices as well. So that's a brief look at Plantronics Manager Pro. We've covered a lot of stuff here today, from the intermediate phone systems to AnyMeeting to Plantronics headsets and Manager Pro. If you have any questions about any of this, we will be doing a live Q&A directly after this video. So please ask your questions in the bottom left-hand corner. If you're viewing this on demand, please email us at solutionslab@dnh.com. We'd be happy to answer any of these questions. If you have anything you would like to see in a future video, please email us that as well. Thank you so much for joining me today, and I look forward to answering your questions.